Alright, today we're going to be replacing the mirrors on the 2011 to 2016 SuperDuty. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that now. It doesn't hurt you, but it helps me. Alright, let's get started. Okay, it's really quite simple, guys. I'll put the tool list in the beginning of the video. It does help to have a plastic body panel tool, though, instead of a flathead screwdriver, so you're not marking up your doors. First thing you're going to do is pop off this plastic cover in here. And there's about 4 different retainers in there. Just run that right around there, and that'll pop right off. And you'll see you have 2 hex screws there, and there's also 2 hex screws in the very bottom of the door. We're going to go ahead and remove those. You're going to notice these bottom 2 are they're only snug by hand. They're not tightened down, so you'll be able to take them off by hand. So keep that in mind when you put them back on. You don't want to keep wrenching until they tighten up, because they won't tighten up. You're just going to strip out the fitting. Next thing we're going to do is pop off your speaker cover. If you have a speaker, if not, there's going to be a cover there. It's just going to pull straight off. You'll have 2 clips back behind there that hold that in, right there. And then you're going to take off the 2 outside grommets, the upper and the lower grommet. That will expose. And when you pull this back, you'll see that's your 4 screws, or 4 nuts rather, that hold the mirror on. Okay, we're going to take off this here panel. This is just going to lift straight up. You can do it by hand, or if you want to use your plastic tool. Again, that just goes straight down. Undo these 2 harnesses. Set that off to the side. Now, once we have the 4 screws out and we have this, we can drape this down over this side. The whole door panel is going to lift up and pull off. Now, this being the driver's side, you also have a couple other harnesses in here that you'll have to unplug. And then we'll be able to set that whole panel off to the side. So now we're going to go ahead and undo our 4 mirror nuts. Now, before we undo the last one, let's go ahead and undo the harness. If you go ahead and remove your speaker. Okay, with the speaker off, you're going to be able to feel right up in here and feel where the harness comes down through. And if you pull this back, you only got to pull it back that far. I don't know if you can see right here is a gray harness. This is the harness that goes to the mirror. So you got the red lock that you're going to slide back, and then you'll be able to unplug the harness itself. And then there's going to be a plastic clip that ties it to the door frame. So go ahead and work that off, and then the harness is all loose. So once I take off this last nut, I'll be able to pull the mirror off and fish the harness right up out with it. So there's the old mirror off. I'm going to close the door there a second to show you this square cutout here is where the harness goes in and then down through the door. So when we put the new mirror on, that's where we're going to be fishing it down through. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and fish the harness down through there. Don't be an idiot like me. Take one of the nuts with you so you can get that started from the other side. Luckily, the harness is holding it pretty decent. Okay, before you tighten those down, just make sure the mirror's all lined up. And you can go ahead and tighten those down. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and get that harness plugged in. Okay, with the harness all plugged back in, press that back in place. Get our speaker put back in. Now again, these are all plastic retainers these screws are going into, so don't go crazy on the torque there, just hand tighten them. On the back of your door panel, you will see these 2, 1 tab on each side. those are going to get lined up with these holes in the bottoms of the door. So you can scroll down a little bit for you. They're going to go right in here and right in there. Actually, there's like 4 of them. 2 short ones in the center, 2 longer ones on the ends. So make sure your harnesses are in the right spot. So make sure your harnesses are all in the right spot, so you don't have to take your panel off again and fix it. The door's going to go up above. We're going to line up our lock there. Make sure you pass this harness out through the corner, right through the corner there. Like I say, feel underneath there to make sure those tabs are in the right spots. And once all 4 of them are in where they go, push the rest of the panel in and down. It was caught on one of the screws on the bottom. So that's it. Line up the 4 pieces at the bottom in their holes, and then push the rest of the door panel in, and then straight down is how it locks in there. Now we can go ahead and replace our 2 screws here and our 2 screws in the bottom. Now again, the bottom ones, just don't even put the ratchet on there. Just do them by hand. Don't go crazy with these 2 either. You can give them a little snug, but don't go stripping out the clip in the back. Once you have those in, then you can put your cover back on there. Now we can get this back on. This is a lariat, so it's got the heated seats and every other possible feature there is to have. Power mirrors, memory mirrors, which also means the mirrors are very, very expensive. Oh my goodness, and I did it. Passed it through the wrong spot. Told you to make sure you got it in the right spot, and look what I did. I think this is an easy fix though, because it goes right up through here. Yeah, I got enough room to fix it right through there. And that was fortunate. We can go ahead and put this cover back on. Put our plugs back in here. Pop this back on. And that's it. We're done. Now I want to go over one more thing with these mirrors for you. You have these lenses that are replaceable, and you have to take these off anyway to get to your bulbs, and then these also come off and are replaced. It's a little scary, and it feels scary when you do it, but this does just pop straight off. Just get a piece of just a plastic pull handle like what I had there, plastic piece to put in there, and pry this off, and then the new one will clip right on. I've had this one off and on about 3 or 4 times. It doesn't wear out. It'll go back on. And then same thing with these here. These will just pull straight off. So that's all there is to it. Hope that helped you out. Again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do that now.